Hi guys, welcome to our April team call. Tonight it is going to be all about personal development. We're going to talk a little bit about April groups and kind of the things that are going on right now that we have access to be helping people as we get into the spring and summer. And what else was I going to chat about? I can't remember, but I think that was the two big things. So welcome. We're going to blink and April is going to be over. So if you have not been inviting to a group, now is the time, get something together, whether it is for the rest of this month, if it is in May, whatever that looks like, now is the time to be getting after it, you guys. So with that, let's talk about groups for a minute. Marissa and I are getting ready to team up and we are going to be running a 5-day free group. I've been trying to do some element of a free group every month. I've done some clean week. I've done just kind of general 5-day feel good kind of group, which is kind of what this is going to be. I had so much fun running my March Madness challenge where I built 2 brackets, a beginner bracket and an advanced bracket, and I picked different workouts for us to be doing every day. We eliminated and got down to the 2 that we loved the most, which turned out to be a Lift 4 program, the sample workout on the beginner side, and Strength 25 from Shift Shop on the other side of the bracket, the advanced bracket. I'm pretty sure those were the 2. Anyways, it was a blast. The variety was fun. I think it just gave people, especially people who are a little bit newer to Beachbody and Beachbody On Demand, it gave everybody a chance to either try some new things, revisit some workouts that they hadn't done in a while, and just do something different, right? It's so easy to just get stuck in a program rut or be doing your own thing from a variety standpoint, but not really having any idea what you should really be doing. And I won't say that there was a lot of rhyme or reason to what I was doing other than I just picked workouts that I loved from all the programs that I could think of. And it ended up, it was more of like an Elite 8, basically. Is that how it worked out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 workouts. Yeah. So over the course of 3 weeks, we did 8 different workouts. The first 2 weeks, 4 and 4, we did a 4-day format, which is a format that I absolutely love. And then we eliminated down and it was awesome. So anyways, the April Feel Good and 5 kind of challenge that I just came up with that, by the way. I've been calling it the Freestyle 5 because I kind of thought like, freestyling, whatever you want to do, you just do it. And I'm picking them. So this one's a little bit more customized to where people who are not sure where to go, they've never done a workout before, I'm going to give them the 14-day free trial to Beachbody On Demand. I'm going to pick 5 workouts for them to do next week. I'm going to give them a 5-day meal plan or help them pick a meal plan from one of the programs based on whatever their goals are. So this is the type of group that takes a lot of listening and a lot of work because not only are you trying to pair people up with a really good meal plan from one of our programs, but then you're trying to introduce them to 5 new workouts, and it takes a little bit of time, right? Because there are so many workouts to choose from that it gets a little bit overwhelming sometimes with wanting to give them too many, and really dialing down to 5 is really tough. But the beauty of the 2-week 14-day free trial is that you give them 5 to try and then let them go and dabble around a little bit for the next week. And then from there, work on, helping them find the program to really, truly dive into and do. Because I love hybrid programs. If they are designed right, they can give you amazing results. But just bouncing around and doing random workouts day after day after day really is not going to deliver you the results that you really, truly want to get. So it is best to either have a truly performance designed hybrid program or do a program to the T. So with that, finding a soulmate program is always an amazing thing to do because then you just stay motivated to work out, right? We've all been there. So, all right. So get your April and May groups ready to rock and roll. It is a great time. School's about to be out. The summer naturally is crazy and busy. but there is no slow time of the year. And you've got to be taking care of yourselves first, set a good example, and then go out and help your family and friends take care of themselves too. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about personal development. If you are not doing any personal development right now, start. Find a book that you bought last year, find a book that you bought at the beginning of the year because you were going to be on this roll to read 12 books this year, and now it's April and you've gotten halfway through a book. That is usually me. I have a long list. I start reading. I get bored. I move on to something else. I end up just listening to podcasts. So I am trying really hard to stick to my one book a month goal. And so far, so good. I'm actually starting my 5th book right now because while we were on the Success Club trip, I blazed through Girl Stop Apologizing. Now I am going back to that book because there are so many great things I took away from it and want to have some really strong actionable things with. So I am definitely revisiting that book. So let's talk about what I've read. In January, I read Can't Hurt Me from David Goggins. You guys, amazing. Now, you know me. I cuss a lot. It does not offend me. He cusses even more than I do. And I told my husband, I'm like, that whole, you have a, you cuss like a sailor? Okay, well, here you go. This guy was a badass Navy SEAL, but you would not believe, the whole first, quarter of the book is about his growing up, and it was rough. But, and you read books and people have really shitty upbringings. Like this one, this is not the kind of story I've ever heard before. And it is tough to read at some points, not only about things that happen to him, but things that happen in his life growing up through high school, especially. So, but his journey and his transformation and going from being, super overweight and unhappy to, how this guy got in shape just still blows my mind. Then to go on to the SEALs, and then he's gone on and done so many other things with other branches of the military. He was a recruiter for the SEALs. Amazing. But it's just going to make you really dig deep on what you really want. And I hope it gets you fired up. But honestly, I can't wait to read it again. I'm going to probably get through this book that I just started, and then I think I'm going to go back to it because I'm hoping Brian finishes it soon. So, hey, I don't know what they're doing. He's been moving stuff in the garage. Anyways, okay, so then after that, like I mentioned, I go through these phases where I can get into a book and then I get bored and then I move on to something else. So I had a couple of unfinished books that I told myself, going to give them another shot and I'm going to try to finish reading them. So I did that. After I finished Can't Hurt Me, I finished the book Shoe Dog, which is a memoir from Phil Knight, who is the big dog. He's like a retired CEO now or whatever, but obviously he's Nike, right? So I was about halfway through that book when all that crazy stuff happened with Nike and Colin Kaepernick in the fall, around October timeframe. And I quit. I just cold turkey quit reading it. I was so pissed off about all that stuff that was going on that I just said, fuck it, I'm not going to read this book. And problem was that I was really enjoying it. And so I finished it. I'm so glad that I finished it. I love learning about companies and the challenges and the things that happen. And this was a much bigger struggle as a company than I had ever imagined it getting to the point that it is or what it has become. So just an interesting read. And if you kind of like more of those personal memoir type of books. So clearly I'm on a personal book route, not personal development. It is that, but in the sense of reading about people or taking things away from people to be motivated through life stories. Because then I finished T is for Transformation by Shaun T. And that was a book that Natalie Jean gave me. My husband also gave me a copy of it because they both know how much I love Shaun T. And I love Shaun T, but I got bored with that book in a hurry. I don't even think I was almost halfway through it. And then it sat around for a couple of years. And so I finally picked that back up, finished that. And again, I'm really glad that I did. So many great takeaways, another really great, incredible life story. And of course, he's the man. His program is the one that changed and saved my life. So I felt like I owed it to him and I owed it to myself to finish that book, and I'm thrilled. So got those first 3 out of the way. Then I did a pre-sale so I could get the Girl Stop Apologizing book. So if you read Girl Wash Your Face, Rachel Hollis, same author. She's written some other cool fiction books as well. I haven't, and I'm saying cool because I've read like excerpts of them, but I haven't read the full things. They just kind of seem like they're fun reads. And she did a cookbook too, because she was a food blogger at one point. So anyways, there's my Transformers from when I was on my trip last week. I better get those jotted down. So some really, really nice takeaways. It is a pretty quick and easy read. I liked it a lot better than Girl Wash Your Face. Completely different approach in what she's teaching, what she's talking about. So I took a lot more away from this book. And again, I think it's a season of life thing. When I read Girl Wash Your Face, I just don't think that a lot of what was in that book was just resonating with me at the time. I enjoyed reading it, but it wasn't like, yeah, I can't wait to read that again. I actually borrowed it from somebody, so I need to return it to them. This book is a book I will absolutely go back to, will continue going back to. There were so many awesome takeaways from it, so many things that I think will really speak to a lot of you as well. All right, then the new book that I just got is this one, The 10X Rule. I have heard about this book for a long time. And as you can see, the first 4 books I read, they were more about people, right, and those life stories. And I have had a hard time reading more of those like businessy, network marketing, go get them kind of books, because I just get stuck and feel like, oh, there's so many great things I should probably take away from that, but I can't, and I'm not, and whatever. So after being on the Success Club trip, and Amy Rhoda, who's actually a Colorado coach, she is a top 10 coach this year. I think she's actually 5 in the network. And she is just the sweetest gal. And she was talking about, and I'll pull my notes up from Success Club so the trip, so that I can give you some of the other recommendations that she had. But she, kind of talked like she went from one phase of her business to the next, because this one book really spoke to her. Then the next one, there were 3 or 4 books that she talked about, and the 10X Rule was the one that she said was the biggest game changer. I've seen Melanie Mitro post about it, Ashley Molson. I mean, I've seen so many people post about it who I respect. And I feel like if they got a lot out of it and it seemed really applicable, then I want to give it a shot at the very least. So I just started it. I've only read the introduction so far. I will keep you posted on the 10X Rule. And my bath time book, not really on purpose, because I kind of just read them all. It's like the best time I have to read, but something that might work well for some of you who are finding it tough to find time for yourselves. This was a gifted book to me by my upline coach while she was still coaching the Fringe Hours. So I got this book about 4 years ago, and I did a lot of the activities. I wrote a lot in the book, and it was very interesting, the phase of life that I was in. And I didn't get more than about halfway through it at that time. And then I quit my job. So obviously it worked out. I mean, there was some things in there that were talking about doing what you have to do for you and your family. And as I've been going back through it, it's been very interesting to see where my mind was at and what I was struggling with at that time. Not that I have forgotten it, but you forget, right? It's kind of like childbirth. You forget how awful it is because you just love your babies so much. So the Fringe Hours just teaches you about ways that you can make time for yourself, very practical things. The gal that wrote this book, Jessica Turner, she has a really nice blog too, so worth checking out. Okay, so that is where I'm at right now. What is that? 36 book recommendations. I want to encourage you to get back into the habit. If you're not, I've been out of the habit of listening to the National Wake Up Call. They broadcast them live on Facebook now every Monday morning, so you can watch them or listen to them on Facebook if you want. They do a lot of slide sharing and some really strong takeaways. You can find those replays out on the Team Beachbody Coach 411 page. And also, you know me, I love my podcasts, so I listen to them in the car. So this week's was amazing. And I just happened to have a lot of drive time on Monday because I had a doctor's appointment. So I was like, I need to listen to one. And I caught one a couple weeks ago and it was really good. And this one was remarkable and was probably the most impactful one to me that I have listened to in probably 2 years or more. And the reason I'm talking about personal development and why I want to mention this call, and I want to encourage all of you to go and listen or watch it, is because, first of all, it's about knowing that no matter where you're at in your business, even if you were at one level and then you're back to like ground zero, you can restart there and you can build. She started as a coach, maybe about the same time I did even, and had worked up, built a great business, then like got to the point where she only had one working coach, and now she's a 2-time elite coach, and just talks a lot about finding herself and diving into personal development. But the biggest takeaway for me and what really spoke to me was about stop being a collector and start acting. And I can't remember if she said it exactly like that, but I know for sure she said stop collecting. So if you're like me, I want to have every nugget, every tool, every resource, because I want to be able to continue to share those on with you guys, run with our challengers. And there are so many things that we can read in personal development that we just read and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. I should really do that. Or I'm going to try that. And then you don't, right? You get on with life. You get scared. You let fear take over, whatever that looks like. And you just stall out. And this spoke to me so much in what my business was like last year. And I'm not sorry about it or regretful about it. It just was the kind of year that I had. And after being on the Success Club trip and getting back into some things that have been happening life-wise and work-wise, I just am kind of in this different mindset of I really got to put more things into action, because I really should be able to do more and help more people. We have so much, at our fingertips, not only resource-wise, but access to so many people through what we do in social media, that it's time. It's go time. So I am working really hard on how to do that. I'm going to have a new Success Club partner and our Success partner that I think is going to really help me, give me some new ideas. Hopefully I'll do the same for her, and I can share those with our team and help you guys as well. I think that's great to cross over into other teams. You should never look at it from a competitive aspect. You should look at it from an opportunity aspect. It is great to learn from other teams and other people in the network, because there are so many amazing and creative people and people that are fucking killing it in this business. And if you're over here like me and you're like, honestly, I don't even know who to invite anymore, or I feel like I'm inviting the same 10 people over and over again, I mean, really got to get branched out. And you have to be willing to do things like lives and other things that are scary, right? And we don't always want to do. So you can do it, though. I can do it. You can do it. All right. And the only other thing I will mention, besides listening to the National Wake Up Call, is I want you to get on YouTube, and I want you to listen/watch the Mel Robbins. Is that her name? No, it doesn't sound right to me. Mel Robbins. Yes. She's the one that has the 5-second rule book where you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you act on whatever you're acting on. And the TED Talk is called Stop Screwing Yourself. Stop screwing over yourself, something like that. And it was so good, you guys. It's, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. It's not very long. I think it's about 15 minutes. And a lot of it is going to sound very familiar to what life is really like. But one of the things, I was talking about being selfish and like taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, and how that's not selfish. You should do those things so that you can continue to give. I mean, we know this, right? But she was talking about how we have this like go get 'em side, and we have this emergency brake side of our brain where you're like, I love that song, I really want to get up and dance. And then if you don't do it, like in that moment, as soon as you think about it, then the emergency brake side of your brain goes on and you don't. You're like, oh no, nah, I really can't like go out there and dance. Like, no, I can't do that. And so I was like, oh my God, what an amazing concept. Because you think about it, right? And you're like, I see that post, I really want to message that person and say, you should join my group, or God, you'd make a great coach, or I just love the outfit that you're wearing. And for whatever reason, we don't do it, right? So that aspect of within 5 seconds, if you think it, you need to do it. Or getting up in the morning, set your alarm 20, 30 minutes earlier, and don't hit the snooze. When your alarm goes off, get up, get out of bed, and get on with your day. Whether you're going to work out, or you're going to get to work early, or you're going to do some personal development, or work on a project that you've been wanting to work on but have absolutely no time, great, go and do it. But do not set the snooze, do not delay, just get out of bed and go do it. So, you guys, that's it for tonight. Get some PD in, get those challenge groups rolling, keep inviting, keep showing up. You got to be posting. You got to be showing people what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're eating. Don't give a shit if people are like, oh my God, none of the food photo. Because you know what? You're going to post that and somebody's going to be like, thank God, I finally have a new idea for dinner. And they're going to thank you and they're going to try it. And then you're going to be like, yeah, I'm so glad that I posted that. Be glad that you posted. Don't stop sharing. Share whatever you feel like you should share. All right. All right, gang. That's it. Happy April. I will be checking in with you guys again. Try to power hour next week, and live power hour, I should say. You should be powering every day, and let's keep kicking some ass. Okay, it's gonna be a great spring. Okay, right into it. Love you guys. See ya.